Catherine Ross really hated her more than anyone else. Catherine Juliette Ross was born on January 29, 1940, in Hollywood, California. Her dad, Dudley Ross, worked in the Navy during World War II and later had a job at Associated Press. Her mom, Catherine W. Hall, stayed home and took care of the family. The Ross family moved around a lot, and Catherine spent most of her childhood in the San Francisco Bay Area. That's where she fell in love with art, books, and theater, things that would shape her whole life. After Catherine finished high school at Loss High School in Walnut Creek in 1957, she went to Diablo Valley College. There, she started doing drama and acting. That's when people noticed she was really good at it. Her teachers and classmates encouraged her so much that she left college after just 1 year to become an actress full-time. She joined a place called the Actors Workshop in San Francisco, which was a well-known school. There, she learned method acting from modern theater teachers. This early training taught her how to show deep, real emotions on screen, something she became famous for later. Catherine's acting career started small with tiny roles on TV shows in the early 1960s. She appeared on shows like The Alfred Hitchcock Hour, Gunsmoke, Wagon Train, and The Virginian. She showed everyone she could act in all kinds of shows, from scary ones to westerns. Hollywood soon noticed how natural and graceful she looked on screen. Her first big movie role came in 1965 in a film called Shenandoah, starring James Stewart. She played a sweet love interest named Ann Anderson. This movie introduced her to lots more people and started making her a star. Her huge breakthrough happened in 1967 with a famous movie called The Graduate, directed by Mike Nichols. She starred next to Dustin Hoffman and played a character named Elaine Robinson, a young, innocent woman. Catherine showed Elaine as someone caught between what her parents wanted and what she wanted for herself, especially when it came to love and figuring out who she was. Her acting was beautiful, quiet, but full of emotion. She got nominated for an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress and won a Golden Globe Award for New Star of the Year. The Graduate became one of the most famous movies of the 1900s, and Catherine's character Elaine became a symbol of how young people were changing and challenging their parents during that time. After The Graduate, Catherine Ross kept making smart and interesting choices for her career. In 1969, she acted with Paul Newman and Robert Redford in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. She played Etta Place, a mysterious woman who loved the Sundance Kid. Her chemistry with both leading men, especially Redford, was amazing. The movie became a classic, and Catherine's performance added warmth and real feelings to a story that was mostly about action and outlaws. That same year, she won a BAFTA Award, a British Acting Award for Best Actress for her work in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and another movie called Tell Them Willie Boy is Here. In the 1970s, Catherine continued building an impressive career. She appeared in The Stepford Wives in 1975, a creepy and thought-provoking movie that made her even more famous for picking roles that meant something important. She played Joanna Eberhardt, a woman who discovers a scary conspiracy in her perfect-looking suburban neighborhood. This remains one of her most praised performances. Catherine also starred in Voyage of the Damned in 1976, which earned her another Golden Globe nomination. She managed to be successful in Hollywood while also staying private. She avoided all the crazy celebrity stuff and focused on doing meaningful work instead of just being famous. As the years went by, Catherine kept acting here and there. She appeared in TV movies, independent films, and worked alongside Sam Elliott in projects like Conager in 1991, which got her another Golden Globe nomination. Her career, which lasted over 50 years, showed a balance between making art she believed in and staying true to herself. She never tried to get attention through publicity or scandals. Instead, she let her acting speak for itself. Catherine Ross's personal life included a series of marriages that showed the ups and downs of her journey, both on screen and in real life. Over the years, she got married 5 times. Each relationship was a different chapter of her life, matching up with different stages of her career and personal growth. Catherine's first marriage happened on February 28, 1960, when she married her college boyfriend, Joel Fabiani. Back then, she was still a young woman just starting to figure out her place in the world. She was balancing her dreams of acting with the normal hopes of a young couple starting their life together. Fabiani, who later became a TV and stage actor himself, shared some of Catherine's creative interests. Together, they represented 2 young people dreaming about careers in the arts. But as their ambitions started taking them in different directions and Catherine's career started taking off, the pressures of being apart and wanting different things became too much. After only 2 years of marriage, they got divorced. This was the first of several short marriages that would happen in her life. In 1964, Catherine got married for the second time, this time to John Marion. By then, she had started making a name for herself as a promising actress, getting more recognition in Hollywood. Her marriage to Marion seemed hopeful at first, but turned out to be another short chapter in her life. Their relationship fell apart, and they got divorced in 1967. This time in Catherine's life happened when her career in film and TV was really starting to grow, which may have made it hard to keep a stable personal life. Her third marriage, though, connected her directly with the movie-making world at the highest level. In 1969, after finishing her famous role as Etta Place in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, Catherine married the film's cinematographer, Conrad Hall. Hall was one of Hollywood's most respected professionals, a celebrated cinematographer who would go on to win 3 Academy Awards for his beautiful camera work. Their relationship seemed to combine artistry and love. Hall's poetic way of seeing things visually and Catherine's glowing screen presence made them an interesting and creative couple. They were both at the top of their artistic game, and their marriage was a union of 2 strong creative minds. However, like many relationships in the demanding world of Hollywood, their busy careers and different personalities started creating distance between them. By 1973, after 4 years of marriage, they decided to split up. Not long after, Catherine's 4th marriage came in 1974 when she married Gaetano Tom Lisi, whom she had met while filming The Stepford Wives. Lisi had been working as a chauffeur and technician on the movie set, and their relationship grew from a real connection rather than the high-profile glamour of Hollywood's elite. This marriage showed a different side of Catherine. Someone looking for stability and normalcy after years of emotional ups and downs and the constant pressure of fame. Even though they worked in very different professional worlds, the couple genuinely cared for each other. However, as time passed, the challenges of balancing her successful acting career and their personal relationship became clear, leading to their divorce in 1979. Catherine's 5th and final marriage would turn out to be the one that lasted. On May 1, 1984, she married actor Sam Elliott, a man whose deep voice, rugged charm, and quiet strength had made him one of Hollywood's most loved leading men. The two had first met years earlier on the set of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Though at that time, Catherine was already an established star, and Elliott was just starting out in the industry. It wasn't until 1978, when they were both cast in a horror movie called The Legacy, that their relationship really began to grow. Their connection went from friendship to romance, based on mutual respect and shared values, rather than the quick excitement of celebrity life. Their marriage was a turning point for Catherine. Unlike her previous relationships, this marriage gave her a deep sense of partnership and stability. Both she and Elliott kept successful acting careers while also making their life together away from Hollywood's constant spotlight a priority. Just a few months after their wedding, on September 17, 1984, Catherine gave birth to their daughter, Cleo Rose Elliott. It was a happy moment for both of them. Catherine was nearly 45 years old at the time, and Cleo became the center of their world. Cleo would later follow in her parents' artistic footsteps, going after a career in music. Throughout her long and respected career in Hollywood, Catherine Ross earned a reputation as a soft-spoken and deeply private actress, someone who preferred to let her work speak for itself. But behind the graceful composure and calm beauty that audiences loved, there were occasional conflicts that showed another side of Catherine: her refusal to put up with cruelty, arrogance, or disrespect on a movie set. Among all the colleagues she met over decades in the industry, there was one person Catherine reportedly truly hated more than anyone. That person was the outspoken and eccentric actress Cloris Leachman. Catherine and Leachman's professional paths crossed during the late 1960s and early 1970s, a time when both actresses were at the peak of their fame. Leachman had just started getting recognition for her sharp humor and unpredictable energy, while Catherine was still riding the wave of her success from The Graduate in 1967 and Butch Cassidy and The Sundance Kid in 1969. According to people who worked around them, their personalities clashed almost right away. Catherine, who was known for her calm, quiet nature, found Leachman's loud, confrontational behavior impossible to stand. Cloris had this way of making everything about her, Catherine once said privately. She didn't just steal scenes, she stole the air in the room. The tension, reportedly, started during a shared project where Leachman's improvisational style and constant making up of lines on the spot disrupted it. The quiet discipline Catherine was known for. Catherine, who preferred carefully rehearsed and emotionally subtle performances, was often thrown off by Leachman's unpredictability. Crew members remembered seeing Catherine quietly angry while Leachman would go off script, forcing everyone else to adjust. It wasn't about professionalism, Catherine later explained. It was about respect. When someone keeps turning a scene into a circus, it stops being art. Their personal interactions off-camera were no better. Leachman, famous for her sharp tongue and unfiltered humor, would often make sarcastic comments that Catherine took as personal insults. Leachman's teasing, which other people might have dismissed as jokes, felt cruel and unnecessary to Catherine. Cloris liked to poke people, Catherine said, but it wasn't funny to me. There's a difference between humor and humiliation. Over time, what started as mild annoyance turned into outright hostility. Catherine reportedly avoided Leachman at industry events, even walking out of a dinner once when she realized Leachman had been seated at the same table. Despite the bad feelings, Catherine never turned the feud into a public show. True to her nature, she stayed dignified and mostly silent in interviews. When a journalist once asked her about Leachman years later, she paused before saying, "Some people feed on chaos. I never could." That short statement revealed a lot about how Catherine viewed their differences. One woman thriving on unpredictability and attention, the other longing for focus and peace. Leachman, on the other hand, seemed almost amused by the tension. Known for her mischievous sense of humor, she once joked to a friend, "Oh, Catherine Ross hates me? Good. I must have done something right." For Leachman, who saw conflict as entertainment, Catherine's quiet resentment may have been just another story in the unpredictable theater of Hollywood life. But for Catherine Ross, it wasn't a joke. Her dislike of Leachman became something almost symbolic, a reminder of everything in the industry she found distasteful. "Hollywood rewards noise," Catherine said in a rare honest comment. "But I never wanted to shout to be heard. I believed in stillness." To her, Leachman represented the opposite: loudness, chaos, ego, and a disregard for subtle artistry. Over the years, the story of their feud faded, overshadowed by their respective careers. Leachman went on to win an Academy Award and multiple Emmy Awards, carving out a legacy as one of Hollywood's most eccentric talents. Catherine, meanwhile, stepped back more from the limelight, appearing in fewer films and focusing on her marriage to actor Sam Elliott and their family life. Yet, when Catherine reflected on her career decades later, she reportedly admitted that Cloris Leachman remained the one person who could ruin my day just by walking into the room. Despite her strong feelings, Catherine never denied Leachman's talent. She was gifted, I'll give her that, Catherine once said. But sometimes talent isn't enough if there's no kindness behind it. Those words summed up Catherine's philosophy about acting and life. That grace and humility mattered, more than attention or awards. In many ways, the deep dislike between Catherine Ross and Cloris Leachman showed two extremes of the Hollywood personality, the quiet craftsman versus the loud troublemaker. Catherine represented restraint and emotional depth. Leachman represented risk, chaos, and boldness. Their inability to get along peacefully showed how even two great talents, when they have such opposite values, could never find harmony. When Cloris Leachman passed away in 2021, Catherine reportedly chose not to comment publicly. Friends close to her said she expressed no bitterness, only a quiet acknowledgement that their time together had been a lesson in patience. Yet, those who knew her best said the memory of that clash lingered. Not out of meanness, but because it had revealed so much about her own boundaries, her sense of dignity, and her unshakable commitment to being authentic. As Catherine once put it simply, some people come into your life to remind you who you don't want to be. For Catherine Ross, that person, more than anyone else, was Cloris Leachman.